Hey there. You cannot be neutral on a moving train. That's my theme of the day. And I'm talking because I'm talking that way because it's really cold out. And that means you cannot stand still on a cold day. You got to keep moving to keep the furnace lit, keep the fire going. But luckily we get some sunshine and a beautiful fluffy white snowfall. Hi, good to see you.
Sorry, Aaron.
It's okay. There's a little dog walker. Yeah, I wanted to say again, thank you for being here. And I want to talk about the pit to the peak journey, because this is a framework for getting out of the pit. And when I say the pit, I mean, it's the pit. It's a low place. It's a place where you're stuck. You're stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. And it's not a good place. It's a dark place. It's a place of self-doubt. It's a place of despair. It's a place of loss of hope. It's a place of self-neglect. And we all get there. We all fall into those pits. I was in a pit yesterday. And so the trick is to move through it. The trick is to find a lever to get out of the pit so you can get back on track and moving towards your peak. And when I say peak, I mean, right now, maybe you're standing at a peak. You're standing at a place or sitting at a place where you worked hard to get to. Obviously, you planted seeds at some point. You created the reality that you're in. So I'm here to invite you to look around. Look at your reflection in the mirror. Look at yourself naked in the mirror and tell yourself if you're proud of what you see or if there's work to do. Look at your bank account and get real about what's in there. Look at your profit and loss statement and be ruthlessly truthful about what you're up to. Look at your relationships. Look at how frequently you're having sex with your wife. Look at how you show up for your kids. All these places and how's your house? Is your house in order? Your mental health, your physical world, is it in order? Did you make your bed? All these little things, the discipline. Identity eats discipline for breakfast. So the deeper question, other than just are you doing all the things and are you busy staying on the hamster wheel, is who are you? And are you aligned with your calling? Are you aligned with the assignment that God put on your heart for why you're here, for what you're here to do, what gifts you're here to give to the world? Because if you're in the pit and if you're stuck, there's a good chance it's because you're living up to other people's expectations of who you are. I was reminded this week of this trippy thought that of the thousands of people that you get to know in your life and who know you, the weird thing is each one of them knows a different version of you because they just see and perceive you in the context they know you. And only you know who the real you is and who the real core truth of being true to yourself is. And no one's coming to save you. You're the one who's got your hand on the rudder, and you're the one who can get yourself out of that pit and up to that peak. And usually it starts with presence. It starts with getting real and being present and then taking care of yourself. Self-care, self-love goes a long way, just little by little. And trusting yourself, self-trust, self-love, and then investing across all those dimensions, right? Fitness and health, what you put into your body, what you do with your body, your being, your spiritual connection with God, your relationship with truth. Are you willing to tell the truth, the hard truth, to show the truth, even if it's messy, even if it's a horrible mess? I like to say the wholeness is in the whole mess, because life is messy. Life is messy, and it's not always easy. And then there's your relationship. Like, is that on track? Is it empowering? Is it liberating? Do you feel safe in it? Are you creating safety in it? Because our relationships should ultimately help us align with our true identity and our true calling. I believe you have an assignment on your heart that God placed in your soul before you were born. And your real work is to be the king of your thing and let your wife be the queen of her thing, queen of her scene, and you're the king of your thing. And that means fulfilling your assignment. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what your assignment is, but you know what it is. You know what it is better than anyone. And you got to look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you living it? Are you rising up every day? Are you grinding and pushing through the discipline required to unlock your kingdom? What did I hear a mentor say today? A hustler builds a house, but a king builds a kingdom. So how close are you to those kingdom principles that are actually locking arms with guys on your team, with the men in your life, and creating a world of truth, standing up for freedom and making your contribution, whatever way it is. I guarantee that there's a place where you could do better. You could show up more and you could tell the truth more and give yourself permission to break up with the lies that have held you back. A lot of it starts with desire. Moving from the pit to the peak is about getting real and raw with yourself around what you desire. And when I say desire, I don't mean like junk food and porn and lower desires. I'm talking about big D desires. So when you get in line with that force of desire moving through you, you gain direction. And then you just got to grab your balls and go and commit to what you desire. And the funny thing is, because I've been in this game long enough, working with leaders, dusting off the garbage that gets in the way and getting real with leaders and saying, well, what do you really want? Because, you've created this and you have momentum on this, but are you aligned? And the funny thing is, so many humans, myself included, when we're asked about what we want, that's $1 million question, by the way. What do you want? When you're asked what you want, many of us will come up with a laundry list of 10 things we know we don't want. Somehow the mind goes into a negative place and looks at all of the things. Oh, I know I don't like that, and I'm done with that, and I'm sick and tired of that. But the truth is, giving yourself permission to want what you want isn't a cerebral thing. It's a soulful thing. It's a permission-giving thing. It's like the heart wants what it wants. It doesn't need to explain why. You just want what you want. So that's my jazz today. It's about giving yourself permission to desire. And I want to say that this conversation of desire and soul desire in your career, whether it's in your bank account, some financial goals you want to achieve, it's not just about the money. It's about the freedom. And the freedom to do what you want to do, with who you want to do, when you want to do it. You want to take that trip? You want to pay off that debt? You want to buy that house? Or maybe buy that new vehicle? That's what I'm talking about. That's where the hustle comes in, but it's not about hustling harder. It's about getting aligned with that 10X principle. And when you start to shift gears with that 10X principle, check out that book, 10X is easier than 2X. Then you're going to get a whole different identity, because you have to die to the man that you were yesterday in order to pull those levers and move into that future self, that aligned future self. So that's my jam on desire. And what I was going to say is that your results in the bedroom, your results in your sex life are often a hologram of what's happening in your bank account and how you're showing up in your business and in your career. The truth is, at least that I've gotten to know, is that getting laid and getting paid happen on a similar energetic axis. Sex and money. These are the core desires that are most shrouded in shadow work for creators on the path. And so when you give yourself permission to want what you want in the bedroom with your wife, your spouse, and express that fully, what it does is it opens up this soul food and gives you fuel so that you can show up in your career, show up in your calling and answer the fucking call. Do the fucking work and answer the fucking call. And so that's part of the results that I help men get inside of my one-on-one coaching, the Alive on Purpose coaching program. And a lot of it has to do with alignment, you know, and decision making, because you can't do it alone. Like that kingdom principle, kings always know where they come from. And many of us have trauma. Many of us have garbage trauma that's holding us back, which are the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. And when you get aligned with the story of who you are, then you're working at a level even greater than discipline, and that's the level of identity. Ben Hardy has this wonderful framework for looking at identity. He says, identity is made up of two core things. One is your commitments. Like you are what you're committed to. If you're committed to getting results that are not what you want, well, that's a problem. But it is what you committed to. You might have a hidden commitment. If you're getting results that you don't want, it could be a hidden commitment. And that requires some work to unpack that. So that's one level of identity, commitment. Your commitments in body, being, balance, and business. Guys who work with me get access to a 40-day challenge to learn the warrior frameworks and the warrior's way, and they're life-changing. Like the life-changing results. I've gotten messages from guys 2 years later after working with me, thanking me for introducing them to these frameworks, because they are infused with 13 years of testing and to see what works for men who want to rise. So there's commitment, and then the second piece is standards. Like, who's going to raise your standards for you? Your wife? Maybe. She might, like my wife, be a truth teller. My wife's name is Satsiri, and her name comes from Gurmukhi. It's an Indian dialect, and the name Satsiri in the dialect that it is in means eternal truth. And literally, that's what she is. She can't. So that's like a punch in the face, or a cold splash of water in the face every day, is that I can't live in a lie. And that's why I've aligned myself with the warrior's way, because the code of living in this way is just about telling the truth. Stop fucking lying and start telling the truth, and just see what happens. Like almost as an experiment. What if you were truthful with yourself across all four of those domains, body, being, balance, and business, and you made the decision to raise your standard? That's how the game of transformational leadership works, is that if you do it right, and you really pull that 10x lever, your ceiling, what was once your ceiling, becomes your new floor. That's what I mean by raising your standards around your fitness. I never even used to go to the gym. I used to cruise. I thought I was an athlete in my youth, so I could just, ride that, and I didn't have to. But then in my 40s, the body starts to atrophy, and I needed to light a fire. Now I'm 47, and I do go as many days a week as I can, up to 5 if I'm on a good week. And that's how you turn your body into a weapon that unlocks energy and brings you home to your power. Ultimately, it all comes home to the body, because we learn through the body. That's where the learning integrates and lands. That's when you can find your backbone, heart, and balls. That's why I subtitled my book with those 3 words, backbone, heart, and balls. That's the masculine axis. Anyhow, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the brotherhood. Thanks for listening to my jam this morning. I've got space for 2 coaching clients opening up in the next week. So if you're looking for help to get the breakthroughs that you're ready for, you can reach out to me. And my wife and I have a new business mentorship opportunity for the right driven individuals who want to create legacy wealth, create cash flow, and to sell health products that are high ticket and life changing through Kangen Water. Maybe you've heard of Kangen Water. You can ask me about it in the DMs if you're interested. Thanks again. Big love. Bye for now.